I'm in this place. And I'm in my own center. I'm in my power. It's like, you're here, like this. And you come to this place, and a grid gets activated. Something awakens from going into your own center. A grid gets activated. An energy field, an invisible energy field begins to appear around you. And this energy field, its magnitude increases as you develop yourself and as you situate yourself more in the center. The more in the center you're still. You're quiet and you're still. Your mind, you're not identified with emotions. Your mind's not running around. You're totally in a still place. And this activation takes place. And a grid awakens. And what happens is now the field of energy around you, it starts to expand. And since you are silent, you are in this place, your breathing, your rhythm of breath becomes harmonized with the breath of the planet. So you start breathing with the planet. So you become the grid, you dissolve into this unified field of intelligence, unified field of silence, unified field of oneness, unified field of love, of the one. You become it. And in becoming in that, so what happens is our hearts are connected to each other. So then the transmission takes place. Whatever that wants to be transmitted, that which the boss wants to come through, and if it wants to use this vehicle for the transmission, now since we're connected like internet, all our computers, they're connected to the internet, then the transmission takes place. And it doesn't matter where you are, how far is the distance or the time difference, it won't make any difference. The transmission takes place and we all get very strongly affected and feel it, and we dive into this place of quietness, harmony, and love. We begin to feel love here, bliss here. So it's important that we do the meditations first. So this is what we're going to do, and then the transmission takes place. And then after that, I will share with you we talk about whatever comes up. If you have questions, we go through your questions. If not, then we will see what comes out and we talk about that. Okay, so let's, all of us, we're going to close our eyes and we're going to bring our attention. You either put your attention on your third eye, or you can keep your attention on your heart. Whatever works for you. There's no set way of doing it. You know, if you're, but you don't need to do any mantras. You don't need to do any visualizations. You don't need to force yourself not to think or make yourself think of something. Just leave it alone. Simply be present and be here, and just keep your attention on one point, whatever that point for you is. If it's your heart or if it's your third eye. For me, the best is the third eye. So we keep our attention on one point. You just breathe into it gently, without any stories. And we're going to be speaking a language we haven't spoken before. And this is a method of flushing the mind and clearing the mind. So just take a deep breath, just relax. And we start. Abagajazana nawayana nawa kajagata wakachasana warakachadana sana wakata dajazana warakajigala waragara washakajashi no wakata sawakata sasito warasana waya the gajatara waya wajigata sana washata sadakata wariyada wa the gajin jawakawasha wake Shavakarana Chana Nana Warriara Waragajigasin and Warriara Wagajas Waria. Take a deep breath. And just keep your attention on one point, whether it's your third eye or it's your heart or it's your breath, wherever you are comfortable with. Breathe in and out gently. And then we start again. Abagajasana wana kachikana wana mayana nagaja wada sana washida wakata sadakachasana nawada kana kajawaya wakajigadi wadikata sanya wana wana na. Let it out. Just say it. Awagajigasana nana wada gajasana wada wada gajigani ona wada yada wachigachana wana wana yana. Wajajana sana wana yana wachigata sada wada chana wa. Awagajigazana nana wacha kana sana nana wadi wadi wada 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 awayuru. Take a deep breath. And keep your attention on one point. And the next meditation we're going to be doing is a laughing meditation. We're going to be laughing. Even though if you don't feel like laughing, make yourself laugh. And the laughter will follow. So we begin. Take a deep breath. And as you have your eyes closed, your attention is on one point. If you put your hands on your heart, and I would like you to feel your being, your heart center, and yourself. And feel the energy that by putting your hands on your heart, the energy that you feel. And in this moment, without any self-judgment, without any stories of your past, no matter what has happened, whatever you've done to someone else or you've done to yourself or someone else has done something to you, if you can put the story away of what has ever happened, and in this moment, without any stories, simply loving yourself, simply feeling this presence, this energy, this love that is always here. You simply feel that. Feel the presence of this energy. And repeat after me. I love myself. I love myself. I love everybody. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody. Because I'm love. Because I'm light. Because I'm God. That's why I love myself. And I forgive myself. I say yes to love. Yes to love. Yes. 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 Come back to your heart center again. Your eyes are closed. Your attention is in one place. And you're allowing this energy, this being that emanates from yourself to take over and show itself to you. And one more time, we're going to do the laughing meditation. Hey, woo! Take a deep breath. Oh. Put your hands back on your heart area, your chest area. Feel this presence here. Feel your own presence. The presence of the being, the presence of love, the presence of God, the Spirit, the living Spirit. That by putting your hands on your heart, you can already feel some heat. Something's happening. And repeat after me. And when you're saying this, just say it wholeheartedly and really mean it. Because this is an opportunity, this moment, to really transform and change things within yourself in cellular memory by letting go and forgiving yourself and others and truly loving yourself in this very moment from this place of silence. So repeat after me. I love myself. Everybody. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody because I'm love. Because I'm light. Because I'm God.
I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 And sink into your heart. Slowly, slowly come back. First of all, happy Easter to everyone. I hope you had a good time with your family or by yourself. So I have a question here that can you talk a little about aspects we are in parallel worlds at the same time. I mean, okay, let's put it this way, that what does infinite means? I mean, try to imagine with our thinking mind, I'm trying to grasp something that is impossible to grasp, infinite. Beyond the word, just saying infinite means it keeps going and going. It's infinite. So if something is infinite,
Zarathustra?
infinite, there's other aspects of ourselves simultaneously existing. Who went to
Zarathustra? Can you hear me?
instead of it became we're on a crossroad and you're making a turn and there's someone's calling me. Who is that? I hear barely something, but I don't know who that is. Hold on a second. Yeah.
So the
sound, is that you?
Yeah, we really can't hear anything. So is there anywhere else in the house that has better bandwidth where you get more bars?
How is it now? You don't hear me now?
Yeah, at this moment I can hear you. But
is it better? Because
but we didn't hear
I had my volume.
We didn't hear any of the question.
Okay.
It's not the volume. It's not the volume at all. It's the bandwidth is low, so we're only getting bits and pieces, and you're freezing a lot.
Right. I don't know if I can go anywhere else. That's the thing. I'm in a friend's house, and they gave me this room. And
Okay,
that's what,
it seems to
yeah.
be okay now. It seems to be okay now. Maybe you could start with the question again.
Okay. So the question was, somebody asked, about parallel worlds and different aspects of ourselves. So I'm going to ask you, if you hear me, can you raise your hand?
It seems to be better now.
Yeah, is it better? Okay, you can everyone can hear me? Okay. So the parallel worlds do exist in infinity. I don't know if you heard the beginning of this conversation, is that the existence is infinite. It's infinity. So it keeps going and going and going and going. And I can only speak of one of my own personal experiences, that at one time in a deep trance, I saw this aspect of myself and it was in infinite of different, and there was army HP. Yeah, what, Rosalie? You can't hear me? Let me see. What did you say, Rosalie?
It was
But
stuck.
coming like it's a sound behind you.
It
Sound
was
behind.
stuck again. It was stuck again. It's okay. You're back. You're fine. Just carry on.
Okay.
So one time you saw aspects of yourself. We missed that part when you started to tell that story.
Yeah, I mean, this, that I observed different aspects of myself. There was an infinite number of Zarathustra, as well as there was an infinite number of anything else. And it was going in infinity from every direction. That simultaneously does exist. However, at any given moment, our consciousness is right now, your consciousness is focused on one body-mind mechanism, that is you and your life, here and now, what you're experiencing in this moment. And so this is your experience. Yet it is possible, yes, in deep trance, or maybe use psychedelics or whatever, it is possible that you tap into different aspects of yourself and you start seeing different things, that information becomes available to you. It's possible. In my case, I saw an infinite number of planet Earth, an infinite number of myself, an infinite number of anyone that I knew, that there was different aspects of them in a parallel universe of living this other life. But each person made a different decision and went a different direction and did something else. So I saw that, and it was very profound and powerful experience to come across that. And it also kind of takes your thinking like, okay, this is the only thing that there is. And it just makes it clear for you to realize that, wow, I mean, there is a lot going on simultaneously, and all of it happens in synchronicity. And I can relax into this and in this moment and let the existence take care of itself, because it definitely knows what it's doing. The intelligence that is available and is here, the universal intelligence, knows its thing. So we can just kick back and relax on that and let God business be left out for God, and we do our own thing and not try to save the world or interfere, because there's no need. It knows what it's doing, even though that it seems like it's in chaos or we don't understand a lot of it, but it knows what it's going to do or what is going on. Here's another answer came in. Sliding doors like the movie, but this is a real life in the multidimensional world. Yeah. Okay. So, are you still having problems with sound?
No,
Or no?
good.
Can you hear me?
You sound
It's
good.
better now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but you remember, I mean, if you know what I can do is, if anybody has a question, I can unmute you in that moment. You can ask your question, and then I mute you again. If you have a question, just raise your hand if I can see you, because I can see some of you on my screen. I don't see everybody. Or you can send me a message on chat. We left out, so I don't see any questions coming, right? We left out a conversation we had, I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Shishi, that we were talking about who am I?
Right.
We were talking about who do we think we are and who are we? Does anyone remember that conversation? That was, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, no? Yeah. Okay. So how about if we go back to that one? How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay. So it was a few weeks ago when I was talking about this, that who am I? If you ever ask this question from yourself, who am I? And so what do most people refer to? Is if you ask somebody like, who are you? You know, person may say, well, I'm a mom and my name is Linda and da 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 da, or I'm Zarathustra and I'm from the US and I teach spirituality. So, but if you really go a little bit deeper within yourself, go to this place of really digging deeper of who really am I? Okay, am I my name? Am I my last name was given to me? Because a lot of people on the planet are very much identified to their name, to their last name. They're very much identified to their nationality. But these things could be changed too. I mean, you can change your name, you can change your last name, you can change your nationality and pick up another citizenship. Your job, you can change your job, whatever you do. You know, you're a school teacher, you're a mom, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a carpenter, but that could be changed. So if it can be changed, then you're not that thing. So, and then what? Our race, our religion. Am I really my race? Am I really my religion? Am I my gender? Am I this body? Am I my thoughts? Whatever thoughts I have on my mind of thinking of myself, the image that I have of myself, am I that? Am I my feelings? My feelings come and go all the time. I may feel great in the morning. By noon, I may get some bad news and I feel funky. And by evening, I may feel good again. Am I my changing emotions? Because my feelings changing all the time. They come and go. Is that who I am? So who am I really? And there's another thing is like, okay, and where is this me anyway? I mean, I say I'm Zarathustra, or I don't know who I am. I'm nobody. But when you refer to yourself, where do you refer to? Where is you? Where do you live? What part are you? Are you in your head? Is this where you're living? Like when someone calls your name, this person that you think you are, where is he or she is? Is it here? Is it in this section of the body, or it's in the torso of the body? Where is this you? Have you ever, you may want to examine that, because that's a very interesting thing, is where do you reside? It definitely can't be in your arm, because they can cut your arm and then you have one arm and you're still there. And, you know, they can cut your legs, as people have lost legs, arms, eyes. So parts of the body could be replaced or taken out or mutilated or whatever, and you're still there. So it's, if you look at it, it becomes very clear that you can't really, you can't be your body really. And also, you never refer to your body as yourself. I mean, if you need a knee replacement, you don't tell your friends, I need to be replaced. I'm going to go to the doctor and they're going to replace me. They're going to replace your knee. Or you're getting a hip replacement, right? Or if you have a stomach ache, you say, I have a stomach ache, or I have a headache. Your head, my head aches. Or I broke my hand. I fell down and I broke my hand. My hand. So I'm referring to an object that I own. You know, this is like my cell phone, okay? And this belongs to me. And this is my hand. Hey, be careful, you're sitting on my hand. Or you just put your foot on my foot. Or you're cramping my space. So you're referring to your body as an object in your language already. So you're not referring to your body as you. And then so that's with our body, where we have the most and strongest identification of believing that this is who I really am. But down deep in language, we're not referring to the meat as who you are. You say my body. Like, for example, somebody may be talking about, yeah, I'm not going to be, I don't smoke cigarettes or I don't drink alcohol because I want to be good to my body. I want to take care of my body. Well, you know, I put a cover on this phone, you know, because I don't want it to fall down and break when it falls down. So I'm taking care of my phone. You know, I'm being good to my phone. And I'm being good to my body. So it's an object I own that I'm taking care of it or I'm not taking care of it. You know, let's say 30 years of drinking, smoking, and then your teeth are bad, your skin looks horrible, you know, your liver is malfunctioning and whatever. You didn't take care of your body. So it's an object. Then you speak about your emotions, you know, my feelings all the time. Oh, my feelings are hurt. Okay? So you're referring to feelings. As well as people ask you, how do you feel? You know, what's your feeling about this? So is your identity, is your feelings, I mean, whatever you're feeling during the day, is that who you are? Does that define you? So you want to look at that, because your feelings continuously come and go and come and go. So you can feel anxiety, you turn on the TV and you're watching some news and you're feeling some fear and anxiety and nervousness because they're talking about some bad stuff. And then you meet your grandchildren or your friends and you're eating some chocolate cake and having a cup of coffee and you feel good, and you may go for a dance and you feel happy, so these feelings and emotions, they change based on what is going on, whether it's good news, bad news. You got what you wanted, then you feel good. Normally, most of us, when we get what we want, we're happy, and when we don't get what we want, we're miserable. It's just the way it is. So, but am I these emotions that are changing all the time? So what about my thoughts, my mind, the thoughts happening? Am I my thoughts? Does that define who I am? A bundle of thoughts passing through in my mind, all this stuff going on. Sometimes it's very quiet, nothing's going on. And sometimes it's very busy. I got some bad news, or maybe I ate something and it just bothered me and activated my thoughts. But and your mind's going crazy. Oh, Zarathustra, my mind's going crazy. I can't really control it, or what can I do? I have all these bad thoughts. Whatever it is, I can't let go of my past, what I did, or I'm worried about future. Or what is being worried? Worriness. It's thoughts about future or thoughts about regrets of the past. So these are thoughts. So now the question is that where am I, where is this me located? Or even let's say we find a location for me, okay? Let's say it's a place. Let's say me is somewhere here, for example, okay? Or me is somewhere deep inside, wherever the me is. But this me, this I, is capable of observations. It has me, I, okay, has the ability of witnessing. It can witness, it can observe what is going on in the mind, the thoughts. Like simply when you sit at your couch and you're watching a TV program. So you're watching what is going on in this TV program. So you're observing. Same thing. When you go to a coffee shop, you're sitting on a sidewalk cafe. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day. You're by yourself. You're not occupied with your phone. And you're just sitting there kicking back. You're having your cappuccino, or you're smoking your cigarette or whatever. And you're sitting there and you're watching people passing by. It's a beautiful day. And you're watching people walking by, and you're watching it. They come and go. So you're observing people. Well, it's the same thing happens. You're observing your thoughts. You're watching what is going on in your mind. You have to, because you come to me and you tell me that your mind is very busy. So you have observed your mind, that your mind is very busy. And then you're reporting it to me. You're telling me my mind is very busy. It's very busy there. But if your mind was always busy, then you would never know that. Because all of your life, from the time you were born to the time you're going to die, it's always busy. So how would you know that it's busy? Busyness would be the thing. There must be gaps of silence in between that you notice the busyness. And you can compare it to when it's peaceful and quiet. For example, I'm going to use an example for you that makes it easier. It's like, pay attention. You're saying the blue sky. The blue sky is always blue. Now, we have clouds, storms going through the sky, and things are happening. There's thunderstorms, there's rain, there's snow, there is all kinds of things happen. But is okay, for those of you from Scandinavia, you have seen a lot of bad weather, you know? But is it always bad? Is every day bad weather? Every day snows, every day thunderstorms happening? No. What happens is there's time, obviously, that the clouds open up and you see the blue sky and there's nothing going on. So those are gaps. You know, now if you live I'm in Spain right now. So if you're in Spain, you're in southern Spain, in Ibiza or Canary Islands, yes, you have a lot of blue skies. But then you go to Nordic countries and you don't have a lot of blue skies, but you still have blue skies. So because you have blue sky, means there is no clouds, you can compare the clouds that are passing through to the blue sky. Same thing is going on in your mind, in your head. You're observing all these busy thoughts happening, but it's not always busy. There are gaps of silence and no thoughts in between. Otherwise, you would have never been able to know your mind is busy, because busyness, it would always be busy. You know, it's like a dog. A dog doesn't know it's a dog, doesn't come and say, well, I'm a dog, and there's a cat, and there's a donkey. A dog is a dog. It doesn't know it's a dog. We're observing the dog from the outside, and we're labeling it. And we say, okay, that's a dog, and this is a cat. But the dog doesn't know itself. It simply is. So if you were your thinking mind, then you would never know there is a mind, because that's all there is. So you cannot be your thinking mind, because you're, first of all, observing it. Secondly, you're aware of it. Okay? Third, you try to learn methods of manipulating it, because you've gone to a lot of courses and you read books and seen different teachers teaching you how to do positive thinking or positive visualization, so you can manifest things. Things come to you in your life through positive thinking and positive manifestation. So you want to learn how to manipulate your mind. So obviously, then it makes it, if you pay attention, then it makes it very clear that it's not who you are. It's an object you're trying to manipulate. It's an object you're observing. You're observing your mind. It's still thoughts, which happens in the third dimension. And these thoughts that happen in third dimension, they're passing. They're not still in one place. Your thoughts pass. You don't have the same thought all the time. So they're objects that are passing through. Okay, now we go to the emotions. And you look at your emotions too. Those you definitely spend a life of trying to manipulate, haven't you? Haven't we all do that? How do you manipulate your emotions? Okay, I'm really stressed. Well, I want to go have a glass of wine. Now, I finished my day. I'm really stressed and I want to wine dine. So what do? I just go have a glass of wine. To what? To manipulate my stressful emotions to make him relax. I'm feeling angry or whatever. I'm really jealous or I'm feeling sad. So how can I manipulate my sadness that I feel good? So we're capable of noticing our feelings, noticing our emotions, and we do the best we can to manipulate them because obviously we all want to feel good. You know, nobody wakes up in the morning and say to themselves that I want to feel miserable today. I want to feel like shit. And I want to be depressed. And I want to be hateful. And I want to feel like I got betrayed by my children. I mean, unless you're sick, you would not do that. Everybody wants to feel good. Even feeling good means hurting someone else or killing somebody or stealing from somebody. The action does not matter. I mean, that everybody wants to feel good. That's what they want. But then I just go back to what we're talking about is that are you your emotions? Is that who you are? Because if you are your emotions, then how can you observe them? How can you be in this place of witnessing them? Because I can give you some techniques and give you some exercises that your job is that you're watching your emotions. They come and they go and you're observing them. So I can give you some exercises that with these exercises very quickly, in a very short period of time, you separate yourself from your emotions and your emotions become these objects that are passing through you. They come and go and you're watching them. You're just here. You're looking what is going on. You can do it right now. You can just check in with yourself. How do I feel right now? And then check in with yourself an hour from now on. Or how did you feel this morning? And see that these different emotions come and go. They don't stay all the time the same thing. And then lastly, I did talk about the body, and you look at your own body. See how it's changing, how it has changed. And normally, as we get older, it changes for the worse, unfortunately, because it's decaying, you know, normally. I mean, A 20-year-old doesn't have the physical problems of a 7-year-old. So it changes. So, but you're aware of it. You can see that it's malfunctioning, or there's shortcomings in the vehicle. It's not performing the used to it perform, and things changing in it. So, all right. Then we come back to this question. I'm sorry, I'm just checking to see with the time where I'm at. So we're good. So we come back to this place. Then who am I that I can observe my passing thoughts? I can observe my changing emotions, and I can observe the meat. I can witness all these three. They come and go. Then who am I? Because up until now, before Zarathustra brought up this question, I thought I was this unit. And now, wait a minute. What's going on here? This is a little bit getting too deep for me. Who am I really? And that is a very good place in your spiritual development of getting into this. I'm sorry, just one moment. There's someone that sent me some questions or whatever it is, and let me see. We have the answer inside, and we have the answer inside, and we are all one. Okay. So
It looks like we lost him for a moment, everyone. If you just stay patient, I'm sure he'll get back on in a second.
is everything okay, Shishi? Are we? I can see everyone. I guess we're back. Can you see?
You just got back, yeah.
Me?
But I think when you're
okay.
when you're opening the chats and things, you don't have the bandwidth to do other things. I think you just need to stay focused on speaking.
I think you're right. So this is probably one of the main intersections in your spiritual development, or anyone's spiritual development, of really coming to this place with yourself, of wanting to go deeper in the rabbit hole, of really questioning this, of who am I really? Because we have these labels from childhood that they've been attached to us. You go buy a bottle of orange juice, it's a plastic bottle of orange juice, and the manufacturer put a label on it that says orange juice. And so if you pull the label off of it, then it's just a bottle. And you don't know where it's made. It could be made in China, it's made in Dubai, or made in Norway, whatever. But that sticker that they stuck to it is telling you, giving you information. And the same thing when a child is born, as you're growing in a society, you get your first label. The first label is, my name is Alan. My name is James. My name is, you have this one label here, Zarathustra. Then you got another label, they stick another thing. Okay, you're American, you're Persian, you're Jewish, you're Muslim. You know, there's another label attached of, you are a farmer, you are a scientist. And, you know, you got all these, you're a man, you're a woman. You get all these labels attached to you. So when you go deeper in your spiritual work and you want to go to the roots of what is happening, is that you need to start pulling these labels off, peeling them off, peeling off the onion, and go deeper inside and start to search that who is this mechanism back in there that is capable of observing the thinking mind, all these thoughts that I thought it was me. Because let me ask you something, if you have no thoughts, if there's no thoughts, you're here sitting there and there's zero thoughts, absolutely zero thoughts, okay? Then what is your name? Who are you then? If you are somewhere and there's zero thoughts, all day long, every day, there's no thoughts, then who are you? And you may be finding something very, very interesting. It's really worth investigating to go in that direction. Because all of our lives, we're trained to go in this direction. We are projecting on the outside. We're looking for it outside of us. So by looking for it outside of myself, so that means I'm here and I'm able to see my thoughts. You know, I can categorize them. I can look at them, what's going on, the content in my mind. So I can observe them. And then I can observe through various methods and techniques of my emotions coming and going. I can see my emotions. Obviously, you all do that. You know how you feel, and your feeling changes. So you're able to observe and report how you feel. And then you can observe the meat. And the meat is changing. And the meat is sometimes happy and sometimes it's not. You know, it gets sick. It gets a flu. It gets a stomach virus. It gets da-da-da-da-da, whatever. The heart is not working very good, so we have to replace it or go in there and change some of the tubes in there. They call it the arteries. And so when you start going deeper inside, then what happens is a crack takes place for the first time ever, because a mechanism has gotten activated, and that mechanism is self-inquiry. For the first time, sincerely, you have asked this question. Not just, oh, who am I, na, 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 blah, 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 not blah, 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 but very sincerely, you're in meditation and you're just looking and say, okay, who am I? If I'm not my name, my last name, my job, my profession, or my nationality, my religion, because all of these things could be changed or be taken away. So then who am I really? And where is the place for this woman, this man, this guy? Where is he? Where is he? Where does he reside? Because if we start cutting body parts, it's this person is still there. This consciousness is still there. And so obviously it's not the meat. I highly recommend that. And in that path, this process of going inwards, it's possible that you may discover the truth of who you are. And in this discovery, many, many benefits may come with this realization, because we may, as we're discovering the truth of who we are, we may discover the being which is always here, this presence that has no form. It's formless. But these are words. I'm sharing that with you. These are words. You need to discover that for yourself if you want it to have value and for it to be a deep understanding of yourself, rather than me just telling you. And that's the same thing my teacher did with me. I had to go deep inside to discover who I really am, outside of the appearance, outside of the labels. Yes, and if I'm sitting in a plane and I meet somebody, and I say I'm Zarathustra, and they say I'm John, I don't say I'm nobody. Oh, I'm consciousness, existence. Nobody is sitting here. Hello. Of course, I'm just going to use my fake identity. It's a fake ID that I need to use for social world, which is a necessity. So that's a different story than really going deep inside, and now you're inquiring to yourself and want to know who's really behind this, who's observing these things, to whom do these things appear, to whom do these thoughts rise, these ideas, whether I'm creative or I'm destructive, to whom do these thoughts rise? Who's observing these thoughts? And they disappear. To whom do these feelings rise? These different emotions that they come, and they're so strong, and I feel like I'm being torn into pieces, or get so angry, and I'm so affected, and I want to go out there and kill and demonstrate. To whom do they rise? Do they appear? Who is observing it? Who is noticing him? Yes, Shishi, you have something to say?
Just on that topic, Johnny wrote a question, or Janny. Are emotions reactions to the environment out of balance, or am I in unbalance? It's related to what you're saying now, so I thought.
Right.
Does that make sense? Are emotions reactions to an out of balance environment, or is it the I that's out of balance?
Basically, there is nothing wrong with the emotions rising. There's nothing you can do about it. whether you have strong emotions or whatever emotions they are. Let's say, okay, just got a signal that the internet connection was bad, so I hope it's okay now.
Yeah.
But let's say like you're a kind of person who gets very, very angry very quickly. And you get very angry and you get out of control or whatever. So, you know, it's an emotion that is not very pleasant and you don't really like it, but it happens. So the emotions, they rise and they fall back to where they came from. It's just like if you're watching, you're by the edge of the ocean or somewhere, you're sitting there and you're watching waves, and the waves coming, and it's a very wavy day. So you have all these big waves rising and they falling back. And then there's another day you're sitting there and watching the ocean and there's no waves. Nothing's going on. Everything's very mellow. So whatever emotion rises, it rises from the same place, and then it just falls back into where it came from, basically. And it doesn't last. It passes through. The observer, the being, you who's here, do not come and go. You're seeing these things pass in front of you. So any attempt in trying to manipulate the feelings, trying or thinking like, okay, I shouldn't be experiencing these emotions, I want to manipulate them, I want to stop them, I want to change them, is basically futile. It just doesn't work. So you're wasting your time. By trying to resist it, they're going to persist. What you do instead is simply acknowledging. You're acknowledging the presence of an emotion passing through you. It's here. Anger is here. Anger is passing through. Anger is a guest right now. It's here. And that means you're completely aware of an emotion, pleasant or unpleasant, of its existence. And you're feeling it. There's nothing you can do about that either. You're going to feel it very strongly. But since you're not trying to push it away, or neither hugging it, it has nothing to hang on to. You become like a brand new Teflon pan. You bought a nice, beautiful, brand new pan for cooking eggs and stuff. It's Teflon, and you do all the cooking, but at the end, as soon as you wash it, everything is off. Nothing sticks to it. So it's the same thing. You're simply acknowledging the presence of an emotion that is passing through. Jealousy is here. Jealousy is visiting. And it goes through. Anxiety. You turn on the TV and as what is going on these days, and they're going to bombard you with terrorism and more fear, Donald Trump, the world's going to come to an end and you're all going to die and they're coming to take you, and you start getting all these anxieties and all these feelings and you get contracted. You simply tell yourself anxiety, fear, anxiousness is visiting. It's here. You're aware of who you are. You have come to the truth of who you are. Means that you're in this place of witness. You're simply witnessing that anxiety is happening. Yes, you feel it when it's happening, but since you know you're the witness, then it has nothing to hang on to and it just passes through. I hope I answered your question. Jenny? Semi. Half and half. But if you make that sincerely one of your practices, you really stay with it and you do that. And then it gets ingrained in your system. And then what happens is you're automatically doing it. Means there is a self-awareness mechanism is activated. Means if there's the awakening has happened. That means emotions come, and you can forget it too, but don't beat yourself up that you don't remember every time. But basically what happens is that this awareness takes over, and that you're completely aware of an emotion that is happening inside you. You're purely aware of it, and it has no power over you. You experience it in a moment when it's happening for whatever duration it is, and then it goes. And you're back at where you were. And that makes you free. That helps you become free. Because up to that point, you really thought you were your emotions. And so you have these ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Therefore, you have to suffer. You don't have a choice. You have to suffer. Because you really believe your emotions, who you are, and your thoughts. And you really believe that you are the meat. So naturally suffering happens. Because these three have ups and downs all the time. And if you think that's who you are, you have identified with the false character of who you think you are, so you have to go up and down and up and down and up and down until you come to the truth of examination, of going deep inside to see the truth of who you are and who is this me who can observe these things. And then slowly you start to see the difference of that's not who you are, and you start to see who you really are. And as that process is happening, freedom starts to come. And expansion begins to happen in your life. It happens automatically. And you start to feel free. You start to see up to this point, you were in a prison. You have been in a bondage. And now you start to see, you really start tasting the real freedom. A freedom from all these three that you have a very strong identification to, that it's been ingrained in us from childhood. We've been hypnotized to believe it. My teacher, Papaji Punjaji, used to tell us, until the merciful guru shows up and fishes you out, takes you out of the cycle of the reincarnation, because you are believing those three things that you are. Therefore, you have to recycle, because the world is real. Everything else becomes real to you. So then you need to come and redo it again and again and again and again, go through it. So you're not going to get out of it. But once you start digging in, that to whom do these thoughts appear? To whom do these emotions come and go? To whom this body appears to belong to? then the freedom starts to come. So our time has come to the end. It's always very sweet being together. It's hard to say goodbye, but tomorrow I go to Hilda. I'm going to unmute you. I have a question for you. I'm going to Hamar tomorrow to see you. And do we have any more room?